Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mashaba coming back at you with another lesson. First, before I get into it, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim-Kagudash. Second thing I want to do is give double honor to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Alright, so what I wanted to get into the lesson is, basically talking about there's a reason why the 2/3 don't like to listen to the men of the Lord. Alright, that are actually out here preaching and teaching on the highways and byways, man. Alright, one, because they think we, hate speech and that we don't know what we're talking about, or we look rough. Alright, there's a reason that they don't listen to us. They listen to these pastors set up by Esau, getting paid by Esau, and, them too, taking their, life savings out their pocket, to fund these stupid ass churches. And of course, all right, and of course they would take their life savings to, put money into something that they think is, godly, but really it's, corrupt. Okay, but that's on them. They're, willingly, ignorant of, what the truth is. All right, this is Sirach chapter 13 and verse 22. When a rich man is fallen, he has many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. Okay? Verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look, what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Okay? So, yeah, man, all right? Basically, all right, these niggas in the world, they gonna listen to, all right, these pastors because they, because they think they, because they got the money, they driving the Hellcats. All right, they got these big ass concert-looking ass churches. They got the Gucci shoes on. All right, Louis Vuitton suit, Prada glasses. All right, this and that. All right, so Jake, being, the dumb, simple niggas, that we are, man. All right, they gonna listen to these pastors. All right, and they go along with anything that they say. All right. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Walking after their own lusts. So of course they're gonna go onto these preachers, all right, that are teaching, simple things, all right, and still adding and taking away from scriptures. All right, reading maybe 3-4 precepts in a whole 3-hour sermon. All right, and the rest of it is filled with just blabbering and music and collecting tithes. Okay, out of a whole 3-4 hour sermon, and don't let the pastor get hot. You might be there from 10 a.m. to 5, man. Have a whole 8-hour shift in a church. All right, just listening to folly. Okay, but of course our people are gonna go on to that because that's what makes them feel comfortable, their own lust. So that's why when they come to the true men of the Lord that are on the highways and byways, that are speaking the truth, unfiltered, curse words or not, they get offended. All right, and they get and they stray away from us, man. Okay, because Jake want to enjoy folly. This is verse 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the heaven and in the water. So yeah, you can, any scoffer come to the line, that think they know the Bible. We break down the what first we gonna break down what they saying is wrong, all right, and then we gonna give them precepts upon precept, proving more things, all right, proving we the Israelites, proving who Esau is, etc. All right, and they still do what the hell they want to do, man. All right, because Jake are Sodom's children, man. This is Jeremiah 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are Sodom's children, and they have not understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. So yeah, all right. So they wise to go out and party and commit adultery with their friend's wife, man. All right, and still call themselves good old Christians. All right. They wise to get linings and smoke and eat pork and this and that. All right. And tattoos and, still be, your regular good old Christian, man. All right, because they wise to do evil. Okay. And they don't even, really pick up the Bible and read it. They just quote a couple popular Bible verses, and maybe, and most of the time take it, the whole way out of context. All right, and that mainly stems from these pastors. Okay, hold on. That mainly stems from these pastors. Also taking precepts out of context. This is Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 26. Verse 5 and verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that set a snares. They set a trap. They catch men. As the cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich. All right, their house is full of deceit. That's talking about these churches, especially the mega churches that look like real life, concerts, man. All right, that nigga Drewski just make a joke about these pastors, man. All right, his ass knew he needed a rebound from making fun of the men of the Lord. All right, so he made fun of the ones that's telling the unfiltered truth and the ones that's telling the filtered version. All right, that's basically what Drewski did. All right, but yeah, man, these pastors they wicked. All right, they only in it for the money. All right, so verse 28, they are waxing fat, they shine, yeah, they overpass it. These are the wicked. All right, these niggas damn near worse than Esau. Really, shit, you could say they, it's a bit worse than Esau, man, because you are a whole Israelite working for Esau to deceive other Israelites into destruction, man. All right, your own people. At least Esau is our prophesied enemy. Nigga, you one of us, deceiving us for money from your prophesied enemy. Like, come on now. These niggas is just wicked, okay? Yet they, all right, let me keep on reading. The cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right and needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things? Said the Lord, shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will you do in the end thereof? So, yeah, man. All right, so, yeah, man. These niggas gonna, listen to Jake, cause these false pastors, cause these niggas is simple. All right, and then they wicked to the heart. All right, they wicked, to their core. That's really all it is. They was made to be wicked, so they gonna be wicked. All right, I'm gonna read this last, Ecclesiastes 13, verse 17. Well, fellowship had the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. What agreement is there between the hyena and the dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? All right, so yeah, man, they're not gonna listen to a real righteous man because they don't want to get righteous. They want to stay wicked. All right, so these niggas out here gonna keep listening to Pastor Pork Chop, all right, TD Jakes, and whoever else, man. All right, but that's all I wanted to get into with this lesson. So, but that was edifying, and I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kagudash. Second thing I want to do is give the honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all you brothers that are pushing truth to both sincerity and with charity. Shalom, wa kwam yasharala, wa abababal. Shalom, Makim. Stay faithful.